Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 2024 SGL Timespinner Randomizer Tournament. I am Urza MTG, and I am joined in the booth by Art Hunter Vera.
Hi.
This is our second race of the night, featuring JimTheEternal versus Wafflesoup. We've got a pretty good match ahead of us, and I'm expecting this is going to be pretty good. And yes, as mentioned in the chat, this is our first round 2 match to be streamed.
Yeah, second rounds is quite exciting, honestly.
All right. All right. Let me. All right. So we're gonna get started in just a few seconds here. This is so we've got a lot of fun changes for those of you who haven't caught a match of this year yet. We've got a few new flags in play for this year, as well as a few other new settings and changes to the randomizer. They've all been really interesting and fun so far, and I'm really excited to see how this all shapes up for our runners. A few changes just to start us off as we wait for the gate to drop. Change from last year. Last year we had chosen as a community to turn off the quick seed flag. Much to a few people's delight, we have turned that back on, so we will have fast movement right from the get-go. You'll see that as soon as we get into the camp here in a few seconds.
See, we got an Umbra Orb to start with.
Not a bad orb at all.
With and Storm Minus.
Storm Minus, not so good.
I mean, we saw a lot of use out of the Storm Eye earlier today.
That's true. We saw it used to good effect to defend when Windfey was using it to defend herself from Ravenlord's projectile ravens. So, as we see what Nell and the camp has for us, Bleak Ring, one of our high damage, high risk, high reward rings, increases damage with subsequent attacks. Early Hairpin, excellent. That's our double jump item.
That's very nice. Early vertical.
Yes, a nice change from earlier.
Very much so, yes.
Yep, and we have a flooded bridge area, not that it matters with our Succus Hairpins. So just going to kind of go over some of the new flags we're using this year. One of the main ones is the Prism Break flag. In the present, there is a gate that consists of 3 lasers, and in the vanilla game, you have to defeat 3 specific boss spots in the past. The Golden Idol Twins, Queen Alana, and the Maw to break down those lasers. With the Prism Break flag, there is now an item for each of those lasers that can be found anywhere at any time. Getting all 3 of the lasers brings down the laser gate with or without beating those boss spots. We have Jim doing early left side, which is an interesting choice.
What boss was there? Did you see that? Did you catch that?
That was Feline Sentry, also colloquially known as Boots.
Boots.
The community likes to refer to the Feline Sentry boss as Boots because that is the name of the cat that did the voice of the character. Oh, wow! That was quite the call by Jim. Jim found Pyro Ring behind the vines. That's going to allow him to backtrack a little bit and burn these vines and really make the left side pay off.
That is quite lucky.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Waffle went to the... and keycard B. Very interesting.
Oh, wow. Waffle is picking up keycard V.
Indeed. Yeah, Waffle took the traditional right side route, went down because she had the hairpin. I don't think she found anything particularly useful on the bat ledge. And is going to the right Meanwhile, Jim is going to the left, and yeah, this is quite a divergence. I can't say either of them is doing anything incorrect. I like both of these lines. That dog is a very interesting enemy here. It's not there in the vanilla game because usually this lake is full of water. And oh, Waffle found the wheel and the glass pumpkin in the same room.
Very nice. So our wheel is our time stop, so you'll probably see Waffle using time stop pretty soon.
Yeah.
It makes touching some enemies easy, which is nice. Getting through unharmed.
Speaking of arm, Waffle just found the Arm Cannon Plus spell, which implies that the Gun Orb is also plus. One of the settings we play on, which is a change from the vanilla game, is Damage Randomizer. So every orb and its associated spells and rings have a chance to either be regular, plus, or minus, which does pretty much what you would expect.
I know Jim is very much a gun enjoyer. Do you know anything about Waffle?
I think Waffle also likes gun. Waffle is a speedrunner of this game. I don't know if she does New Game Plus, where Gun Orb is used pretty frequently. However, Waffle also is doing the basement loop and has found a tablet, which will be useful when we get present access.
Yes.
And speaking of lasers, that's our first laser access. Laser access A for Alana. And Waffle found her own source of fire in the form of the Infernal Flame spell. Another new setting for this year is the I Spy flag, which I think is the first time we're using it or its previous iterations in the tournament. All of the breakable walls in the game are indestructible until our runners find the Oculus Ring item. They don't have to equip it, but it does need to be in their inventory before they can break down those walls.
Which means there are quite a lot of abandoned checks if they don't get it early on. And there might be progression, so who knows? Maybe a lot of backtrack is needed.
Yep, we've already seen them go by a few of them. There was one that Waffle went by on her way down to the lower area to check the bat ledge. There was one just there in the basement loop. There's that Gun Orb.
Gun Orb Plus, very nice.
So this is going to be their first plus orb, and that's going to increase their damage quite a bit. You'll notice Waffle there chose to turn off the went off of the bleak ring for her gun orb set, and that is because the bleak ring does not affect the gun orb. Because the gun orb fires projectiles, it doesn't work with the bleak ring.
Oh, interesting.
If I have that incorrect, I'm sure chat will correct me. But that is my understanding. There are a few orbs that Bleak Ring and Shadow Seal do not affect, and I believe Gun is one of them. And Wef is confirming in the chat. Let's see what we've got in the shop. Just warp shards for today. Our runners are getting pretty close together here. We're gonna see a lot of convergence. Radiant Orb regular, Radiant Orb, one of the classic good orbs. Oh, I see. Waffle using Time Stop here to jump on the enemy projectile and take a faster line through the tower here. Shattered Plus. That's a really good orb. Shattered is an orb that does blunt damage, but it does a lot of hits per second, which causes enemies to move slower because they're constantly taking hits. And as a plus orb, that's going to be big news.
Oh, we got the Maws fights.
Yep, Maw is a pretty easy fight for our runners. This is one of the quote-unquote cheesable bosses.
The ultimate cheese is Ifrit.
Yes, the ultimate cheese is Ifrit. Maw has a setup where if you have time stop, like our runners do, you can stop time, walk up to the boss until you stop moving, stop moving, unstop time, and you are more or less going to dodge all of the Maw's attacks. There's 1.5 attacks that can hit you when you're standing in that position. And one of them won't show up until he's lost half his health.
Indeed, we got some pink for Waffle.
Oh, excellent. We'll see if she goes and checks on that. And now Waffle is going to do our patented struggle juggle, using this enemy to get to the top of this room to check this chest. Oh,
no!
no! I don't know if she realizes what just happened or just doesn't want to bother.
Unknown. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yep, we'll see.
Just missing it by a hair.
Yep, we will see if that comes back to bite her. She's probably like, either she doesn't realize she missed it, or it's just like, I don't want to waste the time against Jim, who is a very good runner.
Hmm.
So the Feline Sentry boss at Cantron is interesting. Feline Sentry is the one boss in the game that doesn't have a weakness and only has resistances. As it is intended to be the first boss in the game, there's no reason to give it any weaknesses because you only have one orb at that time. So it has strengths to things. I'm guessing that was for a New Game Plus. Only person who knows is the developer of the game, who happens to also be one of the runners this year. And just a stand up. So
Okay. So Waffle didn't actually miss all too much.
nope. I'm gonna go ahead and switch us over to Waffle's audio because Lake Serene's music is wonderful.
Sure thing.
But yeah, so far it's a pretty even match. I can't say anyone's particularly ahead with the way things have gone. Waffle was able to get that check because of the Timespinner wheel that Jim did not have while going to the lake. But otherwise, I think they're pretty on parity with things.
Oh no. There's pink. I was just gonna say, was that pink? No, right? And no, it was not. Jim just found pink. Wafflesoup going ahead and burning the vines for when they have future access. Or, sorry, present access. I keep doing that, by the way.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's technically the future based on where we start. Speaking of, that's another one of our new flags for this year. Past a wheel and spindle warp. So by default, gear.
There we go, nice.
So by default, when you play in inverted mode, meaning starting in the past, the only way to the present is through the use of the twin pyramid cubes. And finding the modern warp beacon in the settings that we have. This year we've added a new setting to the randomizer called Past Wheel and Spindle Warp, where if you have the Timespinner wheel and the Timespinner spindle, you can use the warp that is in the refugee camp to go directly to the present.
And a keycard D.
Keycard D will be very helpful once they can get to that present. And now Waffle is going to head into the Maw Caves. Jim checked pink, and Waffle did not, and that gives Jim access to the present.
Oh, very nice.
At the military hangar. However, Jim is going to go clean up the rest of the past before he does that, it looks like. We'll see if he goes into the Maw case before he goes to military hangar. Having the B key card we might see him go straight to the military hangar after he does these few checks. Oh, we have a flooded Maw cave. I think.
Yikes.
So Waffle's not going to be able to do much past the next two rooms. Not that that's not a bad thing. The next two rooms have 5 checks between the two of them, but that might lead her directly to the present. Jim checking the map to see if there's anything left for him to do over there. All right, and now Waffle has to try and figure out where is the present access. Her first stop is the Bombardier check, using time stop and double jump to get up here and get this chest. And just a buckle hat.
Meantime, Jim is making some yes, words are hard. Jim is beating down a burb.
Yep.
Very important.
Fighting the Azure Queen at the vanilla spot, actually. Getting that keycard D, and let's see where he goes from here. He's going to go straight to military hangar. He's got the B key card, and so he can go left from here. And now we are in the quote-unquote present of the game. A laser access, so that's 2 of the 3 laser accesses. Meanwhile, Waffle is checking the upper caves, looking to see if these 2 items are relevant. Oh! Yep, that is the Oculus Ring. The aforementioned, you need this to break breakable walls. This is going to probably delay the present quite a bit for Waffle. She's going to go backtrack for all of the breakable walls that she's missed. Meanwhile, Jim checking tablets in the library. We have Empire Orb minus.
Oh, Waffle actually fighting Boots.
Yeah, Boots is not the most difficult fight. Gear 2 in the library for Jim, and Jin Inferno minus. Jin Inferno, one of the best spells in the game. It being minus means they'll probably not be using it much this seed. I also want to give credence to the fact that the Shattered Orb being plus means that the Bombardment spell is also going to be plus. Another one of the really good spells if I can find it. And Wef Jebster's favorite spell if you've ever watched his streams.
Maybe not unimportant to talk about, but for Go mode, we need all of the Timespinner pieces, so that are 5 pieces, and then we need access to the pyramid, so we need either the warp or we need to get the 3 laser gates and go through.
Yep, so we play with a setting called Enter Sandman, which allows for warping directly to the pyramid, assuming we find the mysterious warp beacon, or they can find the vanilla way by finding all 5 pieces of the time spinner, going through the lab, and fighting an extra boss fight. Jim found the aforementioned Bombardment Plus.
Very nice.
While Waffle is continuing to work through the Oculus doors.
With nothing important just yet.
Yep. So some of you may have seen a very strange item on Wafflesoup's screen before she warped. That was the Sprite Familiar, which in Wafflesoup's game is replaced with an actual Camp Sprite.
Nice.
We've got Emperor Volterellus at the Feline's entry location. This should be a pretty quick fight. 400 HP. And we've got all of our high damage spells.
There we go.
Quick pause for syncing up the seed. Thank you so much to our volunteer Sigma. And Waffle going back for yet another... Oh! Oh no! So Wafflesoup just found the A card. Which is going to be interesting.
I am not seeing it on the tracker though.
Yeah, give me just a minute. So it is there. It's just to the right. Just need to slightly adjust the crop on Waffle Tracker.
Okay. I was
Jim?
already very much confused.
Yep. So yeah, Waffle is going to go back for that struggle juggle, thinking that she missed something there. She has the pink items, so I'm hoping that after this she'll check her map. Meanwhile, Jim continuing to work on the present, going through the fire-locked areas pretty soon here. He does not have the A key card, so he's not going to end up going into Zarian Caves. Oh no, he's already gone through the fire areas, based on his map there.
Yes, he has already gone through, that's correct.
Yeah.
There we go, time for struggle juggle.
Yep, struggle juggle take 2. Jim, Iron Orb Plus on the Dead Scientist.
Ooh. Don't mind if I do.
Another good blunt orb, a really high damage, especially with plus.
But quite slow.
Quite slow. Might be able to overcome that with orb swapping. I do not know if Jim does much in terms of that.
Not that I have noticed.
Okay. For those of you who are not aware, orb swapping is a trick that involves the jewelry box, which allows you to have multiple equipment loadouts. Resetting the attack animation cooldowns by switching back and forth between loadouts that use different orbs. You can use this for orbs that have longer attack animations, like the Iron Orb and the Radiant Orb, to get more attacks in at the cost of, well, your finger dexterity.
Well, I got correct. It's both Jarrett and Wef are saying that he does.
Oh, I see. We've recently added an auto fire setting, and so yeah. So Jim is using auto fire with the orb swaps, which is not quite as effective, but still pretty effective as the full manual version. And Waffle looks like might be going for the twin spot. She did not go into the pink room on her way down.
She did not, no.
Jim now checking the bombardiers, cleaning up some of these checks in the past. And we've got Ravenlord in a much better spot than earlier tonight.
And luckily they have double jump.
Double jump, the wheel, arm cannon plus, much better
all
equipped.
Good things.
Yep. And
there we go.
That fight's over.
Goodbye, birds.
Goodbye, birds. And based on Jim looking for more things, I think our future progression might be on that A key card that Waffle has.
That was on the way to Maw Caves, wasn't it?
Where was that? Oh, that's right. It was behind Oculus, which Jim is going to find shortly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oculus is in the next chest, and then Jim is going to start running around breaking down walls. Meanwhile, Waffle has gotten to the library and is now going to start finding all of the same things that Jim's already done.
There we go, warping out, going for, I assume, the Oculus checks.
Yep, and I think he's I think he's about to get the
the correct check.
I believe it is this one, yes.
It's not.
Oh. Alright, looks like we're not going to get to see that A card on Wafflesoup's side. It is there, I promise you. I will mention it to her after the stream.
Okay, yeah.
So,
Unfortunate.
yep, Waffle finding that bombardment minus. We've got fairly okay equipment as well. Jim is now going through the Varndegroth Tower. Lots of key cards, including the C key card, means we can get just about everything here. No elevator key card, unfortunately, though.
Too bad, Jim will have to backtrack probably for the A key card.
Yo, that's true, yep. Waffle making their way to the left side of the present. And Jim finding the Galaxy Earrings. Another change.
Oh, very nice.
Another changed item for this year. In the vanilla game, the Galaxy Earrings give you 1 extra orb experience per kill. This year, the randomizer, instead of 1, it gives you an extra 15 orb experience per kill, which is fairly significant over the course of a 40-minute to an hour run. Even getting it 20 minutes in, you still probably want to equip it just to get those few extra points of damage.
More damage is more damage.
Indeed. We've actually seen there's
There's
that
the elevator.
Yep, that's the aforementioned elevator keycard, which will allow for getting to just about everything in the tower, other than the A card check.
And that nicely while they're doing these areas, that works out for Jim.
Indeed. So now it's just a matter of where are the spindle and the third gear.
Time for Spider Hell.
Not quite yet. This is the Varndegroth fight.
Yep.
Spider Hell requires the A key card. We have Canterin. Canterin at the Varndegroth. Oh my! Waffle just found Celestial Sash and an Oculus room in Lake Desolation. That's going to give her a little bit of an advantage because now she's going to be able to vertical dash.
When Jim went through this, he didn't have it yet, right?
I think it looks like no, he did have the Oculus. No, you're right. He didn't have the Oculus ring, so he skipped that check.
Well, Jim just found a version of Infinite Vertical 2 by finding Light Wall.
Oh. Yep, so Light Wall is a spell that creates a block of light that does damage to enemies, but also conveniently allows Linnaeus to stand on it, which gives you the ability to climb vertically because you have up to 3 of them out at a time. He's going to continue to check the things here in the tower, and it looks like he's cleared it out. Did I miss both of them getting the mysterious warp beacon?
Yes, me too. Maybe chat can enlighten us.
Looks like Garrett in the chat has our back. Looks like they have the warp at the furthest possible spot from the final boss at the Gyre entrance. This is an interesting race. I would say they're both pretty neck and neck because they have different things to check. And different things that they've already checked. One thing, this will be an interesting call. So, Wafflesoup is famous for never checking what we call the regret chests in the ancient pyramid here. She will almost certainly, if she's going by her standard routing, she will leave them to be the very last things she checks in the entire seed. However, we've already had a few races that have been determined by those 2 chests. And we'll see if she's decided to change her mind on those. Oof, the enemies here hit hard.
Sure do.
Oh, Jim is going to check Alana's attic. One of the few chests you need that extra vertical for, and just a silence ring for his trouble. She's doing it.
She is actually doing regrets.
Oh my. So, 2 chests here that require the Oculus ring, and if they aren't anything, they waste a whole bunch of time. But she's got the sash, which makes it a lot faster. I'd say these are probably about as fast as the ones that are in the caves. Oh
and
my
it has
gosh!
To spindle. It pays off.
Oh, and you can see her doing a very angry dance. Required spindle at regret.
That hurts.
That, oh my lord. And it's so well known that Waffle does not like these chests that Jim may actually think that it couldn't possibly be there. If Waffle ends up finding another gear here soon. But yeah, I think Wef in the chat has us correct in that if Waffle is checking that spot, she probably feels pretty behind.
Well, she really wasn't. They were on equal terms, basically.
Yep. So now it's just a final gear hunt. Meanwhile, over on Jim's side, as he was checking those Oculus locked doors, he managed to find Nether Orb Plus, which is one of the better orbs. Actually, Waffle is currently using it, I just noticed.
Jim hasn't
Nether...
found Keycard A just yet.
Say again?
Jim hasn't found Keycard A just yet, which,
Oh, interesting. What wall was that behind?
I believe... Nope, don't know.
But yeah, it looks like Waffle, it might be that A card has our final piece of the time spinner. Given that Waffle is now doing the tower, we already know everything here is not useful unless the A card check here has the final gear.
Exactly.
Oh, the A card was the castle loop wall. Thank you, chat.
Ah.
That wall they were running by as I was explaining the I Spy flag. So yeah, we're gonna watch these runners do a lot of things that the other runner has already done. Trying to find the thing. Waffle's about to find the elevator key card. Jim just found the sash.
Let's see if Jim will go to regrets. Not just yet.
I think Jim is going to go check the Siren Caves. Yep.
Ah.
This is an area neither of them has checked yet. Waffle finding that light wall, which she does not need. They still don't have the water mask, which means there's 2 total checks in this cave.
Correct. No water, no gas.
Waffle just finding a trap. Oh, Jim. Does that
time stop?
Time stop jail in the same vein as Light Wall jail? Yep, there it is. Jim. Oh my gosh, there's the 3rd gear in the Siren Caves.
Jim really needs to go to Regret Chest right now.
It looks like he's gonna go to the pyramid, hoping that the final piece is here somewhere. And it might just be. It depends on if he does that regret chest or not, and where Waffle goes after checking this chest that will not have anything, hopefully. Sellen's Bangles, extra experience. She's only level 12. Let's see. It looks like, okay, she's going for it. So this is going to be really, really close based on what Jim does here in the next few minutes.
Oh.
This is suddenly. Oh no, Waffle's gonna go check the.
No!
Okay, she's gonna go check the elevator keycard stuff that she missed on this side, and then probably head down to those caves. At least let's hope.
That might be too late, though.
All right, going back down. So Waffle does have the advantage of having the warp next to the final boss, and she doesn't have to do the water mask checks here, so she might still have a chance. Jim
is checking regrets.
Oh boy, this is. Oh no! Oh no!
Waffle.
The A card bait is going to end this race.
Oh god,
As Jim is about to pick up his spindle, and now he's in go mode, already in the pyramid.
Yep. Unless Waffle suddenly changes her mind, this is over.
And that is very unlikely.
Yep. Well, then it's good that Jim didn't find the A key card, since it's hella bait.
Yep. Jim using a potion to make absolutely certain he does not die on his way to the final boss here. He's gonna tap this warp point. And there's only one way, and it is not here. So the only way Jim wouldn't have finished here would have been if the final boss was flooded, requiring the water mask, and that water mask being in here. First final boss is Ifrit, the cheesable.
Well, yep. So he's just gonna sit here, crouch for a bit, and just slap Ifrit until he's dead.
Yep. There is an argument based on your orb and spell layout to not do this, because if you're sitting here, you can't cast certain spells and use certain orbs. And if your damage is on certain spells and orbs, it may actually behoove you to do this fight normally and just kill Ifrit the normal way by doing more damage from his front. Oh, Waffle finds flooded Zarian caves, which means she can't go further. And so she's going to go over here and find it. This means that both our lasers and our water mask, and our gas mask for that matter, are all locked behind either the water or the lab. And we have Genza for the final boss. Genza is weak to sharp and fire, and luckily their gun plus is a sharp damage orb.
And we have already established that Jim very much is an enjoyer of gun orb.
Yeah. So, just gotta get over that minimum distance of the gun orb. Waffle finding that third gear and on her way to the final boss. Unfortunately, unless Jim takes a death in the last phase of this fight, is going to be just a minute or so behind.
Oh, Jim heal! Okay, he's doing it.
Yep, so...
Whew, that was close.
Yep, so Waffle is going to use Bombardment to get through Ifrit as fast as possible. As opposed to taking the safe spot. And
there we go.
Let's get some exclamation points in the chat for Jim, who's just finished with an official racetime.gg time of 37 minutes even.
Very good time. Ooh, that was so close though.
That was so incredibly close. Despite their divergences, these runners were neck and neck the whole race. And wow, this was absolutely fantastic.
Not gonna lie, the last 10 minutes I have sat on the edge of my seat. That was some good stuff.
Indeed. We should see Jim joining us here pretty shortly, I would expect.
I would expect to. Let me check the race.
As we watch Waffle make short work of Genza. Oh yes, thank you.
Yeah, I just remembered, so
Oh yeah,
let's make sure to declare Jim the winner, shall we?
Indeed. And now Waffle is done. So with an official time of 38:15, Waffle comes in second. Uh-oh.
Jim's invite is not working. I'm gonna see if I can invite him like this.
I got it. Let's see.
I send it.
Oh, there we go.
Hello, welcome on in.
Oh my god, my heart was pounding out of my chest.
Give us just a second, because Waffle... now we are joined by Waffle. Waffle, welcome.
Thank you.
That match was a nail-biter.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, so, Waffle, as you had just finished up the tower, and it looked like you were heading down to the Siren Caves, where the final piece of the Timespinner gear was. At that time, Jim had just was going through the ancient pyramid, had not quite found the spindle yet.
Okay. Yep.
So yeah, it came down to that one decision to go check the A card.
Yeah, like Zarian Cave is a denser set of checks, even though I knew it was flooded. So.
Yep.
Zarian was flooded.
Yeah.
You found a water mask.
No, I never found water mask.
Oh, okay.
I still went in. I still went in there and did everything I could.
Yeah,
Okay.
just the boss fight was flooded, which meant you could do everything up to the last check before Zarian, and then get forced out. Neither of you found a water mask. Neither of you had access to the third laser.
Yep.
Yeah, your trackers are completely identical at this moment. Well,
Oh, you're talking
No,
about the
that's
Maw Caves in the
incorrect.
past, not the present.
I apologize. It's not identical because Jim did not ever find the A key card.
Oh,
Which was
yeah,
fake.
okay. That was the question I had.
Yeah.
Your
was
tracker's cut off. Yep.
Yeah, Waffle, your tracker needs to move slightly to the left on your stream.
Well, that's not something Waffle has control over.
Oh no, it's
No,
cut off
it
on
is.
Waffle's stream.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay.
Yep. All right, I
Oh.
can fix that.
For next time. But yeah, so the A key card was in the Castle Loop breakable wall.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that was a place that I was probably going to go check in the near future. I found my second to last Timespinner piece in the present Siren's Cave. And then I was like, okay, well, I have 4 Timespinner pieces. Time to check the pyramid.
Yep.
I was committed to not checking the normal places. So I never went to the Maw Caves because it was flooded. And I never went to the Siren's Cave in the present. Because I figured if it was in a normal place, you'd have already found it and the match would already be over.
Yeah. Not happy. Required regret chest.
We saw your angry dance, yes.
We were all shocked to see you head straight into regret the first time you went into the pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hate it. And apparently this is the meta.
Yep.
At least
yeah.
it wasn't with regrets.
Goddamn regret. There was no way I was going to let Waffle win over me not checking regret chest of all things.
Yes.
Plenty of other things, sure, but not that one.
I was secretly hoping as Jim was going down the stairs, because Waffle was in Zarian Caves at the time, that the final boss was going to be flooded and Jim was going to have to go find the A card and find Water Mask at last check before Zarian.
Uh-huh.
But that didn't happen. Because that would have been truly cursed.
True. I'm just happy we basically started with Succubus Hairpin. That always makes us
that made me really happy. Double jump is so nice to play with.
Yes.
Oh yes.
And I got to do double jump light wall for the majority of the seed, which is fun.
Oh, right. Yep. So Jim did not have Oculus as he was going through Lake Desolation the first time, so he didn't find that Celestial Sash there, whereas Waffle had the Oculus Ring earlier and was
Right.
able to find the stash on her first time through.
The
Right,
downside
yeah.
of going to different places.
I just forgot to do twins, like the
Okay.
entire time. Yeah.
Interestingly,
Fair
Jim found the light wall about the same time that Waffle found the sash. So you had Infinite Vertical about the same time.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna go back and watch this one again. My word.
Yeah. Despite the divergences that you two had, even pretty early on, because Jim took the unorthodox route of going left through Lake Serena immediately because of that hairpin, presumably.
Combination of hairpin and decent enough combat that I felt like I could get through anything that was there.
Which led him to find a pyro ring immediately, which let him also burn the vines on his first pass through.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
But yeah, so that was incredible to watch. Both of you put on an incredible showing today. Jim is going to be moving on in the winners bracket. Don't quite know who you've got against you yet. You're going to be playing the winner of Aces Z versus Ezra 3.
Ooh, both solid racers that I feel like I have a chance against.
Yep. Meanwhile, Waffle has moved down to the losers bracket and will be facing against Lord Ryden.
All right. Looking forward to that.
Yeah. Any other comments from either of you? Start with you, Jim.
I'll get a quick shout out myself. I stream Variety and also sometimes the Timespinner Randomizer. But also just shout out to the entire Timespinner community and shout out to Speedgaming for hosting this. There's not enough thanks in the world for me to give them for what this tournament means to me and how much I appreciate the entire Speedgaming community's support for this.
Indeed. And how about you, Waffle?
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. Every year I look forward to it. I love that it's growing. There's more participants every year, and if you're interested, you should definitely check out Timespinner and the Randomizer. And never do regret chest unless it's a race.
Yeah, and
Sounds
to
about
that
right.
and to that end, I want to echo what Waffle said there. Please, if you have any interest in this randomizer, please feel free to join us on the official Timespinner Discord. It is also where we discuss the randomizer. I would say we're a very beginner-friendly community, both just for playing it casually and for the tournament. Last year, I joined the tournament just because I was encouraged to by a bunch of friendly people, and I did so much better than I ever expected.
And wishlist Timespinner 2 on Steam.
Yes, Timespinner
Yes.
2 looking to be a very great game so far, developed by Lunar Ray Games, also known as Bodhi, who happens to also be in this randomizer tournament. We'll actually see a match with him on Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern as he goes against Wef, who won our match earlier tonight. We have a few other matches coming up this week. Tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, we have Coolio MZX versus Planeswater. Planeswater is our #1 seed this year and the winner of last year's tournament. And then on Friday, we have two matches. We've got 6 p.m. Eastern is Windfay Maiden versus Nochibato, continuing that winner seed. And then at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, we have Ezra versus ASZ.
Super cool. I'm gonna be watching that one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you better. Let's see how the competition is doing before you race, right?
Yes, let me scout.
And before we go, I want to also shout out the SGL community and all of their volunteers. Thank you specifically to Sigma for helping us out tonight, getting everything set up and cropped and syncing. Everything was wonderful. Got going right on time and got a really good seed out of it.
Sure did.
Good race. GG's, Waffle. Thanks for playing.
Yeah, thank you too.
Man. I gotta go die.
Oh, please don't die. We need you for the rest of this tournament. All right. And with that, I think we're going to sign off the evening. Thanks, everyone, for joining, and have a good night.
Goodbye.
Night.
Good night.